Now we've got our jig here to go ahead and to route these out. And the very first step we need to come through and do is, because they've been used, is we need to come through and clear out any garbage that's in there. For that you can use a a screwdriver or a chisel. I like the chisels because they can just go straight down and just clear that out. Once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and give it a bit of a blowout. But from there we're going to move on to setting up our router. Now you're going to notice, our jig, sorry, you notice we've got two clamps here, 1 and 2. That's going to hold our plate, our jig in place so it's not moving anywhere. That is essential. If you don't have 2 clamps, you're doing it wrong and you are at risk of the jig moving, therefore coming into a form of danger. So let's not do that. Get rid of any of the gunk that's in there. We're going to get a piece, and it's going to only go in one way. Now you've got to make sure that you're always doing this the same way, otherwise you're going to route through both sides. So if I was to do this and push it in, we'd route in both sides and it would not work for us. So you've got to make sure that if you've already routed one, you have the face coming up. At that point we're going to push this in like so, and that's going to go in there, and it's not going to move because the jig's quite snug, it's quite tight. If you are worried, come and see me, but it will not move. From here we're going to get our router. Now our router is a very fun tool with a very sharp spinning bit right there. To use it, you've got to have all hair, anything that's loose clothing, loose jewelry tied up, because if it gets pulled in towards this, you're going to be in a world of trouble. You must wear safety glasses and hearing protection. And you must remember to always have 2 hands on the router. That's why we have jigs and clamps to hold everything, so our hand is never holding the piece. At this point, we place the router in the jig, and it's always good practice to start the router bit away from any timber or away from any material. For that, I come through, I place it in the jig, have the router bit away from timber, and you can start that up. At that point, we always move a router from left through to right. And that's why the starter trigger is on the right-hand side. You start that up, run it through, and nice and slowly. Now I always stop my router away from timber as well, because just in case it touches something as it slows down, it's going to throw the router around. Now you might ask, sir, how do I know when to stop? Well, the great thing about this jig is the fact that it's actually got a built-in stopper right here, a stop lock, so they can only go to the correct distance. Then you're fine. Now we actually have 2 lots of these jigs. 2 are set to cut at 6mm deep each, like so. The other 2 are set to cut at 12mm, so they're going to cut deeper. Now you do the 6mm first and then the 12mm. That's to protect the router bit so that we don't burn out router bits. It's also going to give you a cleaner finish at the end because there's not going to be any burning going on. Alrighty, thanks for joining and see you in the next one.